What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR365. Welcome to another episode of our show. This is episode 144. It's kind of what we call Sunday Fun Day. This is where we kind of just kick back, think about our VR week, and we can cover any topic we want to. Apologies, my throat is a little bit messed up. I'm also have a runny nose. My allergies are hitting me really bad today. But I do have my toilet paper ready if my nose starts running a little bit. So that'll be all right. Okay, we also have a special guest today. Chris Richardson is going to be coming to us live and direct. And I believe we're actually going to have video. We're actually going to have video today instead of just an audio-only broadcast. So that's exciting as well. So Chris, go ahead and dial in whenever you're ready, and we'll see if we can get this thing working. So let's see here. I don't have any news stories prepared today. We can, of course, check out some of the subreddits and look at some stuff. I do have a lot of questions for Chris. I look terrible. Yeah, it's the allergy thing, and it's also the lighting is a little bit brighter. But yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, here we go. Okay, Chris, what is up? Okay, I don't have you on the show yet, but let's go ahead and switch over to your window and let's see if we can get this thing working. Okay, let's see here.
Okay.
There we go.
Need to mute you.
Okay, so now what I need to ask chat, Chris, I need you to go ahead and talk for a while. I'm going to turn this trailer down. And just go ahead and say some miscellaneous stuff. I just want to see if they're going to go ahead and get your voice.
Okay, this is Chris Richardson calling live and direct on VR365. How you doing, guys?
Okay, we got to wait about 8 seconds or so. Because I don't know if I need to, get audio for you, or if your audio is already going to come in. I don't know if I need to add your audio as an extra audio.
Well, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing.
Okay, that's good. That's good. We're just wait. Okay, they hear you. Okay, so it's all good. And if the volume is too low or too high on Chris's voice, go ahead and let me know about that. Now I got to turn my camera a little bit because when I'm in this view, there we go. Okay, yeah, so here we are, guys. We've got Chris live and direct. It's actually working, and much thanks to our boy Reckoner VR, Gary, because he actually helped me with this a little bit earlier today. Wow, I'm a 28-second delay. That's crazy for Tezrim anyway, because I think it's 7 seconds that YouTube has automatically built in. And I'm pretty sure within OBS I lowered it dramatically. So there's that. Okay. All right. Well, we're ready to go. So we can go ahead and get into the news. So there is some talk about a brand new Boneworks video. My question about that, guys, do I go to the Node channel? Is that where I go to get Boneworks? Because I might see if I can grab that video and maybe we can check it out during the show.
So I'm super excited for that app.
Yeah, so, when it comes to these various headsets, I got to imagine that your head is kind of swirling about everything just like me, right? I mean, how much crazy stuff has gone on just in the last 3 weeks?
It's been a madhouse. I think Gaben has read some book about disruption is good, and he just does that whenever possible.
Well, it's funny because, I don't know where you line up on the whole Oculus thing. I don't know if your Oculus blood bleeds blue or whatever color Oculus is, or if you're what we call platform agnostic, and you don't really have any favorites in this. Okay, so I'm looking at the Boneworks video. I'm going to go ahead and try to grab this. 4K video downloader has actually been working lately. It's amazing. I just have to give it some time, but it seems like it finally eventually grabs the video. And yeah, I am getting the Boneworks video, so we can throw that on as some background footage as we talk about stuff. But what was I just talking to you about a second ago?
platform agnostic.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is me.
Yeah. Okay. So you do consider yourself platform agnostic.
Oh, I spread myself as thin as possible, sir. Someone was pointing out in chat that they saw that I had uh, the Samsung Odyssey controllers with the Lenovo Explorer headset. And I've also had an Oculus Rift, which I recently sold. And I've tried the HP as well. I've also got, both sides of the fence in the mobile space.
Yeah. So the Oculus Go. What's the other one?
This is the Lenovo Daydream.
Okay, Lenovo Daydream. So you've explored Daydream. Okay, actually, you know what? What I can do here is I've got a number of questions that I wanted to throw at you, so we can just go ahead and go through some of these questions. And what I'll also do is I'm going to throw into the trailer window here. I have a number of pictures that you sent me, and I just made a little video that just randomly goes through all these different pictures. Now it's going to be, you're not going to see it for about 8 seconds, but if you want to eventually comment on some of these pictures, you can also go ahead and do that. I'll just let them run in the background for a little bit. Okay, so the first question I have to ask for you, Chris, is I automatically assume that you are a lifelong video gamer, but I don't know if that's the case, because there's some people that watch this show that they're into VR. They're not really gamers. So the question is, are you a gamer, brah?
Without a doubt, sir, through and through. I was there when Pong was announced. I had, the Odyssey and the Atari 2600. Went through the entire gamut of gaming as it was from the 70s on.
Yeah,
I was a child of the 70s.
Yeah, and I was a child of the 70s and 80s, and I gotta say, man, I remember like the year of our Lord, 1977. In 1977, dude, I'm pretty sure I saw Star Wars. And I got an Atari for Christmas. Or maybe it was 78 I got an Atari. But, dude, when I got my Atari, we got an Atari. It was for the whole family for Christmas. And just playing combat and air-sea battle. And,
yes.
And
pixels.
Indy
big,
500.
chunky pixels.
Yeah. Remember basketball? There were two dudes in basketball. That's all it was. Two dudes.
Yep. And our imagination ran wild with that.
Oh, it was incredible. It was incredible. We hooked them up to our TVs. We had to turn it to channel 4 or something like that,
Yep.
And we had to actually screw wires into a thing on the back of the TV to make it all work. Those were the days.
The RF modulator with its little switch, cable TV.
Yeah, and people were still using those with like Super Nintendos and even PlayStations and Saturns, and I was like, come on, man, buy a new TV, get yourself the yellow, red, and white plugs, Okay, so you've been a gamer all this time, so then my next question is, what kind of games and stuff were you into before VR, before you turned into this VR nutcase? What were you playing? What systems were you using back at that time?
I was an Xbox guy. I had a PlayStation, but my true love was with the Xbox. I kind of learned how to use the controller with an Xbox, playing Halo. I was always one of those guys who would be looking at the floor or looking up at the air, and then finally played through Halo, and that trained me up in, how to play games with first-person shooter stuff. And I was mainly an adventure guy. I'd like the more adventurous games, something that told a story.
Yeah, I see. So you weren't like high score chasing, but what about in the old Atari days when that's all we had?
In the Atari days, it was, like you said, combat, tennis. I love the Activision games. Way back when Activision first came out.
Pitfall?
Their
like
games
when you could
had,
go
like,
left
that
and
extra
right?
juice, the Pitfall Harrys and Kaboom,
Yeah,
that sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, the Activision games, man, and they were the only ones that gave credit to the developers, you know.
Yep,
And
yep.
it's a shame to see what Activision is now. They are like the exact opposite of what they started out as.
Same with Electronic Arts.
Yeah,
Remember, they were all about the artists. That's the reason they took that name.
yeah,
And
yeah.
things have changed.
Yeah, now
Things have
they're all
changed.
about the mighty profits. That's pretty much what it's all about there. Okay, so like when this second wave of VR started to kick off, I always mention that I first found out about it off a Giant Bomb podcast, and it was like Palmer Luckey and Carmack were like at some E3 or something, and it was like they were screwing around with Doom. I heard about that. I don't know what year that was. It might have been 2013, 2014 or something when I heard about that. That was my introduction to the second wave of VR. What was your introduction?
Well, I always thought it was way too expensive for me to even consider. At that point, my PC was like nothing I would game on, and I was a full-on console guy. And I was waiting for the Xbox to hit with VR. I assumed like I could get into this for under $1,000. The Kinect is gonna full body track me. They've got a full leap ahead of all these other guys when they push that button, and they never push the button.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy to me, Chris? I'm looking at all these pictures of you. I got a picture of you right now where I think you're playing Face Your Fears 2 on the Oculus Quest. You know, and I got pictures of you where you have your PC backpack thing on, pictures of you with all these different headsets, and I assumed that you were like you had a DK1 and a DK2, and like so you kind of were a little bit late to the party in a way. I mean, you were just like an Xbox guy.
I was very late to the party. I didn't jump in until the Summer of Rift, sir. When it was $3.99, I went, aha, there's that price. There's the place where I can finally jump in on this. Since then, I've spent a stupid amount of money.
Yeah, because it seems like you got the bug and just went psycho, right?
Yep. There was always some way, because I was that guy who, okay, I got this, but I want to share it, and people weren't coming to me, so I had to figure out how to bring it to them. Wow. So I had a case for my Oculus Rift and would actually carry the sucker to cafes, to my friends' houses, and set the whole thing up. I went through a line of laptops trying to find that perfect source device that would allow me to take it on the go. Like for an entire summer, I was just buying and returning laptops, trying to find the one that was proper.
What's your laptop of choice right now?
Well, now it's that backpack PC. Okay. When it first came out, I saw it, and it was like $1,700. It was like crazy. Not something I could even think about getting.
Okay, you know what? Wait. Hold on a second. What I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and run the video for the trailer. Okay. I'm going to run the trailer for the backpack PC, and then we can talk all about the backpack PC. Okay, sure. So let me go ahead and do that. So I'm going to pump up the volume here on on our game trailer window, and let's check this out. So hold on a second, guys. Let's see. Yeah, this is the MSI VR1. Let's go ahead and check out the trailer. At first, it seems like it's not VR, but you'll just hold on. You'll see. Stick through the trailer. Okay, here we go. All right. Well, that is a trailer. Yeah. When it first started out, I was like, is this ever going to, like, this doesn't look like a VR thing trailer, because you just see this girl. She's playing a first-person shooter game, and you don't realize that that's a computer sitting over there. And then it ends up on her back and all that stuff. So go ahead. Tell us about, so how did you, so you basically decided you wanted to go backpack PC because you want to take the experience on the go. Did you, and you were using laptops at first, but you ended up settling on this? Is that kind of how it happened?
That's exactly how it happens. They had a blowout on these at Fry's Electronics. They were selling them for $1,000, and I went, there it is. I can stop buying all these laptops. I had an Alienware. I had several MSI setups, and they were always limited in the amount of USB ports that they had. You know, I was always trying to jimmy together something to get a three camera hookup working with it. But yeah, I went over to pick one of those up. And the reason I switched to that was I also bought into a Windows Mixed Reality headset. So then I didn't need all of the sensors. I could do everything pretty much on the go. So I've been experiencing, you know, a wireless solution for my gaming for a while.
Wow, you are on a quest, you might say. You are on a quest when you could have just waited for the quest. Of course, you didn't know that it was coming, probably.
Oh, I did. I knew it was coming, but I also knew it wasn't going to be, you know, full-fledged games. And I had a real bias against the mobile things until I got my Go. My opinions on all of this technology has just changed up dramatically as things have progressed. It's like the Go is now my #1 favorite device simply because of its friction-free setup.
Yeah. I mean, friction is, I've harped on that from the very beginning, because there's people that have bought VR setups. They used it for the initial excitement, you know, the honeymoon phase. They saw the lab and they played Super Hot and they played Arizona Sunshine. They're like, wow, this is amazing. But then they've put them in the closet. They've gone back to, like, they go to Apex Legends and stuff. They're not playing VR anymore. And part of the reason for some of these people is the ridiculous hassle. Like, there's a lot of wires, there's a lot of moving parts. It's not plug and play yet, but the Go is kind of plug and play. But didn't the 3DoF, like all the 3DoF aspects of the Go, like you were able to kind of just like not worry about that and still get a lot of enjoyment out of it?
Yeah, there's people have said that the Go is a media device, and it certainly is for me. My #1 app is Plex. I've been able to watch movies with my family members who are 3,000 miles away. I've got a friend that I met at a VRLA show. She's nowhere local to me, but we watched an entire season of Mr. Robot on a virtual couch chatting when the show was on. So yeah, the Go is great, but the Quest has that potential to be that much greater. And I don't mind the graphical hit that we're going to take, as long as you are there. The presence is what really sold me on VR. It can't be described. It only can be experienced. So I've taken the red pill, man. I'm way down the rabbit hole.
Okay, let's back up for a minute here, because what was the first VR thing that you put on your head?
The first VR thing would probably be Dactyl Nightmare, way back in the first wave of VR. We actually had access to one of those VR centers, and I was actually pretty good at it because I didn't have motion sickness, and I could do a good job of navigating my way around and killing people.
That's amazing. So you were there. I remember I remember the Dactyl Nightmare days, but for me, it was something that I saw in the pages of GamePro magazine. Like, they were reporting on these arcade centers that had Dactyl Nightmare, and they were talking about it. And I was like, wow, this is interesting. Little did I know that we really weren't going to get like a legitimate shot at VR for like another, what, 20 something years later, 23 years later, whatever it was.
Yeah, the Nintendo VR setup, that red thing, I remember putting that on my eyes and going, nope, this isn't it.
I liked that for about,
Really?
I liked it for about a week. I see the thing about Virtual Boy is it came out, basically was a disaster. Well, it wasn't a disaster. What happened is Nintendo got freaked out because people were having headaches. And they said, F it, we don't even, it's not successful enough that we're going to take any risks whatsoever. So they basically killed it. And then, I don't know if you remember this, but Blockbuster video stores were selling Virtual Boys. This was like when it was long dead. This was like in 1996 sometime or whatever. They were selling their rental units. And they came with a beautiful case and everything, and it came with a number of games. It was like their actual rental units, and they were just blowing them out for dirt cheap. It was like $40, and you got a Virtual Boy in a deluxe case.
I was one of those who had the headache. It hurt my eyes. So I was like, nah, not interested.
It did for me too, but it was after I played it for about 20 minutes, and I screwed around with it for a minute, and then I sold it like 2 months later. So it didn't last for me either. Okay, so going to the modern day era of VR, like after the year 2010, what is the first VR thing you put on your head at that point?
At that point, I probably went to a friend's house and experienced Vive. The Vive was just too darn expensive for me, but I had several friends who were into it, and I probably went to one of their places and popped that on my head and was just doors blown away, but like still knew this wasn't for me because I didn't have that kind of cash on me. Yeah. Little did I know I'd be spending all my hard-earned cash much later.
This hobby is expensive, man. That's kind of, dude, this hobby could be a reason why I started this entire thing with the idea that, oh yeah, I get game keys and maybe if people donate money, I buy hardware with it, and stuff like that. And it's actually smart. Yeah, that's my dream because, dude, it's crazy to me. I've talked about this before. There are people on Reddit that because you have a VR headset, like a PC VR headset, they know that you've got a computer that could run PC VR, and they know you've spent money on that headset and that computer, and they automatically assume that you're just balling out of control and you got the money to blow on this stuff. And no, for me, it's one of those things like, there's people that aren't rich, but they got a 1966 Cherry Mustang that they polish every day, or whatever it is, like an awesome Harley Davidson or something. They're into some kind of hobby, and you just siphon all your money towards that thing, and you save up, and you sell things that you have, and you create money. Not all of us are just rolling in dough. And have you ever noticed that, though? Like, some people assume, oh, you got VR, you're rich.
Yeah, I don't have kids, so that's my solution.
That is a major solution, let me tell you. It's a major solution.
I'm the biggest kid I know, and I don't like to share. Well, I do like to share, but not with kids. So.
Well, you must like to share, though. No, seriously, you've got to like to share from the standpoint that, like, because if you didn't like to share, why would you go through the trouble of like this backpack PC and all this crap? Like, if you were only going to have your own private man cave, and you're just going to play games in your own private
I'm
man
a social
cave.
Animal. I enjoy sharing things that blow me away, and VR is certainly that. And it's one of those things that so many people, they just like, oh no, I got motion sickness, I don't want to try it, it'll muss my hair, I don't want to try it, I'll look silly, I don't want to try it. All these reasons for not trying it just drive me nuts. It's like, no, put on the I'm Rowdy Roddy Piper and They Live. Put on the glasses.
Okay, Chris, I just put on this Boneworks video. Now, it's going to take about 7 seconds, 8 seconds or whatever before it's going to start showing up on you. But oh my goodness, has this game just catapulted to the #1? Has this game just, dude, this game, some of the footage I just saw right now, it's like, holy moly, these guys, because right now, No Man's Sky is the #1 most wanted game on VR Game Rankings. Stormland is #2. #3 is Boneworks. #3 is Boneworks. The Valve Index hype is real. Is it showing up now? Are you seeing some Boneworks now? Or are you still delayed?
Yes, the video just started. I don't hear audio when you play videos.
Yeah. I don't have the audio running right now because I just don't want it to drown us out. I might kick in the audio a little bit here. Actually, let's listen to some audio just for a second here. Let's see what's going on.
We showed that video a month ago. That was a build from months ago. So this is a pretty up-to-date build. Our story picks up with you as a developer putting the finishing touches on this game, on this experience that's being developed, and you go into this OS to essentially debug the clock. There's stuff going on with the clock, and so what you're playing is like a visual OS that it's self-generating this thing. So we start with your journey to the clock tower to go fix the clock.
Whoa! So I'm like in a warehouse.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool, but. So I mean, we'll just let this run, and we can of course talk about it as well. There were some slow motion clips at the very beginning of this that I was like, oh my god, this game is next level. It was some shooting.
This is gonna be the game that makes me think about doing the space stations, and I thought we were getting away from all that with the inside out tracking, but you know, definitely. To get the full effect of games like Boneworks, you're going to need the index or knuckles.
Look at the
control.
inverse kinematics on the shadows. I got some inverse kinematics, like full body with shadows and stuff. And yeah, this game right here, like here's the thing. We thought this game is a fourth quarter 2019 release, you know, Boneworks. But if the Valve Index, let's say it's available in late June, this game might be available the same day. Like this, we don't know, you know, but it might be.
I have no doubt that these guys are targeting a launch date, for day and date with whenever Valve's thing comes out. That just makes sense. And this is the one thing that we're actually seeing. We're not seeing any of those Valve games, those 3 titles that they're working on, but we are seeing this.
Yeah, so. and it looks like if you didn't know better, you would think this could be a Valve game almost, you know, especially with a lot of the visual style.
And you saw the Half-Life symbol on a canister that they pulled out in one of the videos.
Yeah. Apparently Valve is like very cool with these peeps. Like maybe this, who knows, maybe this is the game that could be included with your Valve Index, and maybe you're not going to get one of the Valve games right away.
As long as it's sub $1,000 to get in, I can kind of justify it. The Valve thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole thing.
Okay, let's talk for a second though. Okay, so what was the first VR machine that you bought? Like at modern day, the Rift. Okay. Yep. Oh yeah, the Summer of Rift. The Summer of Rift. Yeah. Okay, and so did you have to like buy a computer too?
No, I just had to buy a video card. I had a pretty good PC, but I didn't have a graphics card that met muster. And so I just went out and lo and behold, the 1080 Ti was releasing at just the same time. And if you remember, this was when it was hard to find video cards.
You bought a 1080 Ti right away?
Yep.
Wow,
that was my first graphics card for this purpose. Simply because the difference in price between a 1060 and a 1080 was like $100 because they were stupid expensive due to all the farming going on, all the Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, terrible time to have to buy a card, huh?
Exactly. It was like the shelves were empty, dude. It was like the Summer of Rift hit, and if you went to buy a big graphics card, there were no graphics cards on the shelves.
Yeah. No, because I was thinking of upgrading. Like I was in the market to upgrade, and I waited too long. There was an opportunity to upgrade, and I missed it, and then the prices went nuts. Okay, hold on a second. I just wanted to comment on some of the people in chat. Great Tantrum says Boneworks looks more like a tech demo than a full game. And then Freebooter says it's a framework, not just a game. But the way I understand it, I've heard that this thing has a full-on story. Like, there's an actual story and everything.
Yeah, I think they haven't shown us the game. This is a tech demo. That's what it started as 2 years ago, I think they said. And they showed this about a year ago. And now they're just showing improvements to that same stuff, but they aren't showing us the game.
Yeah, you know, check this out. If you do a search for Boneworks on YouTube and you do it by, like, the oldest video, you'll see a VR Game Rankings episode. I talked about Boneworks the very first time, like the very first time we got a clip of it. And it basically, what they were talking about at that time is that it wasn't a game, and it was just like an experimental test bed that they were just going to screw around with physics, and they were going to try to learn different things in VR, but they weren't even worried about a game. Like, they're just going to experiment. They're just going to figure things out. And then if there's a game, the game comes later. Look at these physics. Oh my God. I'm looking the way the guy has like an axe, and he's moving these boxes around. And then he's pushing him and grabbing him with his knuckles controllers and slapping him with the inverse kinematics. You can see there's feet. Your legs are moving. I don't know how interesting that will look, because it's got to be quite off, but the arms might be really accurate. Wow.
Probably as good as Contractors.
Yeah.
You know, Contractors' legs move. It's just following along with your body.
Yeah. Yeah, this is looking really good. But so Summer of Rift, you bought a Rift and you bought a 1080 Ti, and you got into the world of VR. Okay, what was the second thing that you bought? Like the second VR headset?
The second thing that I bought was probably the Go. And I bought the Go and the Lenovo at the same time. I went to this convention here in LA called VR LA.
Yeah.
And the Go had just been announced and was just made available. And in an attempt to disrupt that, Google released the Lenovo Explorer almost the same day. But like, you could tell the Lenovo's release was early because they didn't have a web browser with it. They were just trying to get it out there at the same time so that they made some noise. And this headset actually isn't 3DoF, it's 6DoF. It has two cameras in the front of it.
Okay.
But the controller is your standard 3DoF thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is, you know, like a weird half step in between them. But honestly, between the two of them, I use my Go far more because that one requires putting on headphones, plugging them in, and all that other stuff. And
how much?
Any little thing will slow me down.
Yeah. How much was the Daydream thing?
It was $350 on sale at VR LA. It was actually $399 when it first launched.
Okay, and it's an all-in-one? Like, you don't need the phone, or you need to put the phone in it too?
All-in-one.
Okay.
It's just like the Go.
Yeah, yeah.
Only it's 6DoF instead of 3. It's
so
a nice thing, but like, honestly, the Go, baby.
Yeah, yeah. But as far as, I mean, I'm just curious because like the Daydream platform, like, I don't know how well it's done overall. And I would look at these arms, like you put on different arms. That's funny. But I don't know how well the Daydream platform is done. I'd have to assume it hasn't done very well. But like, what has been your experience with screwing around with stuff that's on the Daydream? Do you think there's some hidden gems on there that you wish more people might know about?
Well, there's definitely that Justin Roiland game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I haven't bought many, but like that one was really quite cute and fun. It was a short experience.
Dr. Splotch, right?
Yep.
Yeah, hold on. I'll throw the trailer on for it. That's a really cool trailer too. I love the trailer for it.
Yeah, the game is simple and it's kind of quick, and you can finish it and then it kind of restarts. But it's fun, just like all of the Squanch Tendo games are.
Yeah.
A little irreverent, a little funny. Breaking the fourth wall as many times as possible.
Dr. Splorchy presents Space Heroes.
Yep.
So pretty short. Okay.
Short, but there's reasons to replay it. When you replay it, it has a little thing going on.
Yeah. So that game has not come to any other platform as far as I know, right?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
It was kind of a weird one that just kind of popped up. And there have been some others, but honestly, I haven't turned the thing on in a while. I probably need to charge it up and make sure it's working.
Okay, so check this out. I'm about to go back to the Boneworks trailer, right? And it's going to show the very beginning, and you're going to see this slow motion shit. So watch the screen right now, because it's going to be Dr. Splorchy, and it's going to switch to Boneworks, and it'll be the very beginning of this trailer. I'm going to go ahead and actually pump the volume up for a second.
I've got that significant delay.
Wow, this looks incredible.
But yeah, the Node guys are really, really ones to watch.
Are they though? Wait a minute. Are they? Because I mean, look, I'm not a hater on them, but like Hover Junkers and Duck Season, you know, that's been their output so far, and I never really played Hover Junkers, so I can't really comment on it. Duck Season is cool, and it's got this nostalgic value to it, you know, but I wouldn't put it in like my top 50 best VR games. And I wouldn't do it either for Hover Junkers. So it's like, to me, these guys are like on a whole nother level with this Boneworks game.
Yeah, they seem to have been paying attention to the little things in gunplay. And they're aware of that concept that you were talking about with games like Vacation Simulator and Job Simulator, that it's being able to see a thing and not having that disappointment of reaching out to grab it and it not being able to pick it up. Like, they seem to know that's an important aspect. And so they're saying this game is physics everything. They put it all together into one wonderful hodgepodge. And, you know, it might be a short experience, but it's certainly going to be interactive.
Yeah, I think, honestly, that's why Valve probably respects them as a developer more than a lot of other developers, just from the standpoint that these guys, like, I don't know where they got their funding to be able to do this, but they took the time. They just basically said, look, we're going to try to figure out how physical things interact with other physical things in VR. Let's try to get this right. Let's try not to have like you clipping through everything, and let's try to make this a more solid experience and not worry about, we don't care, we're not trying to build a game, we're just experimenting here. That's how it all started out. And then now they've decided, okay, we've got the foundation here. Now we're going to make a game out of it. So yeah, this is jumping up. Like, when you think of No Man's Sky, Stormlands, Boneworks, Population 1, if you could have any game delivered to you tomorrow, completely finished, that's a known quantity, not Half-Life VR. You know, something that we know of, like Stormlands, Boneworks, No Man's Sky, or Population 1, or any other game, Firmament, anything out there. What's your number one most wanted game?
Honestly, it's probably Boneworks.
Is it because of this video? Because of this video, or even before that?
No, I need to actually check out this video in full. No, I was feeling that way back when they first made the announcement of what their plan was, and they showed off those early demos last year. I was jazzed for that. Anything that gives you the "you are there" is a winner for me. And this game seems to be doing exactly that. It's going to put you in a space and let you fully encounter.
You want to forget, man. You want to forget about outside reality, like Project Immersion. You ever see that guy? You ever see Tribal Instincts, the YouTuber? Like, he had this thing called Project Immersion.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like something to check out.
Yeah, no, I don't know that he's doing YouTube anymore. I think he walked away from YouTube, but like, he bought this new house, and he was like, he just was really into like immersion and wanted immersion to be the ultimate, you know. And that's kind of where we're at. It's like, how do we get more immersed in these worlds? And if the physics aren't working right, it really does break the illusion probably faster than anything else. So this is like just throwing things around, picking things up, throwing things around. I'm just watching this video here, and then the Knuckles controllers, like it really does look like an absolute showpiece for the Knuckles controllers. So wow, could you imagine this might be like what we're looking at right here? Within the next 90 days, you might be playing this. Like that's
I might
pretty
be wishing
awesome.
I could play this, but not affording it.
Yeah, there's the price. Like, what do you think? So you don't have base stations, you don't have Vive wands or anything.
Oh.
So if and I'm in the same boat myself. I did have that stuff. It's all gone now. So what do you think? Do you think there's going to be a full bundle for this? And what do you think the price is going to be for that full bundle?
I fully expect there to be a full bundle, and like I said, I can't imagine it not being close to $1,000, if not over $1,000. I mean, it's just a lot, man. The base station 2.0, those things are expensive right now. Knuckles, I don't think there's coming cheap, and then you've got a brand new headset. So expecting that to come in anywhere close to what Facebook is doing with the $399, nah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, okay, I admit, I concede that it's not going to be $399. It's not going to be $499.
Nope. I don't think it's going to be $5.99, $6.99, $7.99.
Okay, wait.
$8.99. You start getting closer, but like I would not be surprised to find it's $1,500. You know.
Okay, but let me ask you this: why is Valve releasing a hardware product? Like, why are they making a headset? What? Like, why are they going through this process of manufacturing this product, doing all the research, and like, think of all the money that they've spent on VR related crap. I know they've got money to burn like you wouldn't believe, so it's like no big deal for them. But think of all the money they've dumped into this. Why are they doing it? What is the core reason for them to do this?
I think it's to stay ahead of the curve. It's simple. It's similar to what movies have done, where they suddenly went with 3D big when James Cameron was saying, "Oh, we've got to have a reason for people not to sit at home and watch these things on their big TVs, and so we'll give them a premier 3D experience." I think it's Valve looking at competition, looking at the future, and knowing that they've got to have, a way to make sure that their store remains on top of the game. And by doing this, they position themselves as being the place you can't ignore. You can't ignore Steam.
Okay, but can't you ignore it if the package is $13.99.99? I mean, who's going to be able to buy it?
Well, no one at the beginning, but those who can afford it. But it'll come down. All these technologies eventually come down. I mean, I did not buy into the Rift or the Vive when they first came out because $7.99 just struck me as being way outside my limit, knowing that on top of that, you had to have another PC. It was just too much of an expense. I was looking for an all-in thing that I could buy at a reasonable price.
Think, one thing I do believe, though, okay, if they are going to go this expensive route that you're talking about, where it's going to be this super premium product, it's going to be like a damn near Vive Pro I type of situation in terms of pricing. Like, if they are going in that direction, what I think you're going to see is there won't be a bundle, but you can build a bundle. Okay, you can build a bundle. So what I mean is they have the headset in one box. It's $699.99 just for the headset. Individual base stations are $150 or something each or something. And then the control and so you combine it all together, and then maybe it's basically $1,300 if you actually combined all those pieces together, but you have them as individual pieces. And then it's like, oh, well, the headset's $700, the You know, I mean, but God, that's crazy. It's crazy expensive. I don't know, man. Don't you think that that would be a bit of a mistake? Because how do you, I mean, just from a pricing standpoint, you look at something like the Oculus Rift S, $399.99. It's got everything. It's got some advanced controllers. It solves the tracking problem in a decent enough way. How can they see? I think they can double that. I think they can go. I could see $799 or even at the max $899 for the whole bundle. I don't think anything above that is worth even screwing around with, because even if you come out at $899 for that entire bundle, the vast majority of people still aren't going to be able to afford it. But at least it's within the realm of, you know, I mean, at least, because as soon as you start saying 1,000 and something, that's a whole nother ball game. You say $899.99, people are like, damn, that's expensive, but okay, I can kind of understand. It's got all this advanced, you know, optic technology going on.
I hear what you're saying, but I think the clue is in the fact that they said upgrade your experience in their little teaser. They're not targeting the mass market. They're targeting people who are already in this ball game. And they're saying, you're not getting that top tier experience from the other guys. Here's one. And so what's that going to cost? We'll find out, I guess, May 1st, right?
Well, yeah, I guess May 1st. We unfortunately got like 23, 24 days or whatever to wait around until then. That sucks. And so in the meanwhile, we can entertain ourselves with brand new footage of games like Boneworks and things like that. Okay, so you know what? Another question I have for you is, why not get a PlayStation VR at some point, you know, in your interest in the VR world? Also, I mean, considering all the games that they have that are on PlayStation VR that you can't get anywhere else, like Astrobot, Wipeout VR, Resident Evil 7, you know, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, I have one of those.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
When did you?
I actually scored a really good deal at, was it Target? Yeah, I think they mispriced it. They listed it for the Skyrim bundle.
Yeah.
They had that for the price of
like the core
just
bundles?
The headset alone.
Oh wow, for like $200 or something.
Exactly.
Wow.
And I was like,
okay.
It says this. You know, when they rang it, it didn't work. But I walked them back to where it was sitting and what it was priced at, and they went, okay, I guess that's the price, and they gave it to me.
Wow, score. Did you already have a PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
Okay. So what?
But not a Pro.
Yeah. Okay. What are some of the first PlayStation VR games you tried when you first got it? Wipeout. So like some of the stuff I was ranting about, possibly.
Exactly. You, sir, are responsible for me spending a lot of dough.
Oh man. Well, you know what? I like certain things, you know, and when I really like something, I love to just like lavish endless praise on it. So like Wipeout VR, what did you think? Were you ever a Wipeout person from back in the days at all?
Yeah, I was bad at it, but I did enjoy it. And I had a PSP with Wipeout that I played. And that the VR version of that game is phenomenal, without a doubt.
Did you end up playing Astrobot?
I did not.
Okay.
I don't buy a lot for it because I actually have a problem right now with my PSVR.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that. It
slowly spins. Like if you're sitting in a chair,
like
you'll be turning like this. Eventually, you'll be facing backwards. So,
you know what? Try doing a post about that on the PSVR subreddit and just explain your I'm telling you, people have figured out a lot of stuff with that. Like people that have had problems. Check that out, because what I think, I mean, people talk about drift with PlayStation VR with the camera. Or like a wobbling world and stuff like that, where your world is just kind of wobbling a little bit. And I've always heard these horror stories. I haven't experienced it too much, but I know there are solutions out there. So I don't know that your PSVR is actually like malfunctioning itself, or it might be just something that you need? I don't know.
It worked like a dream for months, and then I had a big VR party. It's like what you can see in one of the photos. There's a person who's standing with a backpack PC playing one game, and then there's a person sitting in a chair playing PSVR.
Okay.
And that's where that problem kind of kicked in, and I haven't taken the time to figure it out.
Really? I wonder if it's something with the camera. Like if did the camera get knocked over or anything like that, possibly?
No, it's still mounted up there on top of my TV. Yeah. I mean, everything's behind the TV right now. The biggest thing, I think, is like making sure all of your headsets are covered so like the sun, like you said, doesn't come in somewhere.
That's a problem, man. That is a legitimate problem that people don't think about that problem. That is a real problem. Mm-hmm. And imagine as VR gets, I think they need to solve, like this needs to be solved in headset design. They need to allow somehow for like things that just slip over, like you turn it on, you turn it off. A
shutter.
Yeah. But the problem is you can't have the shutter going straight up into some kind of apartment above it, because that will make, like, people don't want to make the headsets that tall where the shutter goes up like that. So it has to like go, it has to go back somehow, like a curtain thing that like shoot and then shoot. And that needs to be solved. Like, this is a problem. When we start getting these things out into the great wide yonder, where just random people start buying these things, or you got to make the warnings huge, like big yellow piece of paper with black warning symbols that say, do not get this thing in the sun at all. I almost killed my Go not too long after I had my Go. I had it in the shade. There was no sun anywhere, but I left and I came back and the sun was like inches away from killing it.
Yep, like an evil monster was creeping up on your device. The other thing is, like, nobody likes sunshine like our girlfriends, right? So they're going to open those blinds.
Yeah, they love to open the windows.
With your Quest and left it on your couch. Yeah. Boom, you're done.
Or you were playing it the night before, and it's freaking dark everywhere, but you left windows, curtains open, and then it was late. You left your Quest there on that coffee table, and the next day the sun's coming in, or I don't know. I wonder. See, I haven't had one killed by sunlight, and I wonder if like it really needs like that direct bam type of sunlight. You know what I mean?
According to the F Reality guys, Zim, he took it out for about 30 seconds. He was like walking a headset to his wife, who was in the backyard. What? And that was enough. What it does is, since it's a big magnifying glass, it just burns an image right into the screen.
And the Cosmos ships next Monday? What? Is there breaking news? Okay, hold on a minute, ladies and gentlebots. Okay, let's go. Let's see here. Okay, you know what? So, okay, hold on a second. Yeah, okay, I don't have your video on the screen right now, but I do have my PayPal supporters. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all my PayPal supporters. Their names are popping up on the screen. We're in the Webby browser here. I'm just going to quickly take a look at some of these. I'm on the Vive subreddit. Let's see here. Boneworks VR Combat Evolved. Like, that's the #1 upvoted thing. I mean, people are probably going ape-s over this new Boneworks video. It looks incredible. It really does. Saturday Night Live. Did you see that little skit last night? They had HTC Vive in a skit. I thought it was kind of dumb, to be honest. I didn't think it was very funny. Yeah, that's one of the things people are talking about. I'm not seeing anything right now about Cosmos. Let's see. Let me try going to like upload VR. Let's go ahead and refresh this. See, sometimes people say something in chat and it's complete and utter bull. It's bogus. Like, there ain't no Cosmos. Cosmos is coming Monday. I'm not seeing it on any website here. Okay, I'm gonna assume that nothing happened. Let's go back to upload VR. Yeah, I'm refreshing this. Yeah, let me just check a quick look on the Oculus subreddit real quick. See if there's any news on the top of this. Boneworks is definitely getting major love from pretty much everybody. VR skit on SNL. Oh, you know what? Torn, is this our daily deal for the day? I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Torn is $9. Yeah, it looks like Torn is the daily deal. 70% off, normally $30, $9 for Torn. And actually, I don't know that this is the daily deal. It might just be a sale that's going on. Let's go to Rift Experiences. Yeah, because the daily deal is the Invisible Hours. Hey, Chris, have you ever tried the Invisible Hours? I think it's the first VR movie. What do you think? Have you tried it? Yeah, I truly believe, like, people will call this a game. Like, MameFan, I don't know if MameFan's in chat, but, like, MameFan will say, this is a game, because, and he'll say it because, like, you can pick things up. You know, I guess you can examine certain things, which I don't feel it's a game, because I was just walking around. Basically, you're a ghost. You're basically a ghost, but you can only be in one place at one time. Multiple stories are happening all over the damn place, right? And you have to choose where you're going to be and what are you going to watch. And it's interactive from that standpoint, which I think, oh, no Chris audio. Oh, man. Oh, I'm screwing up. Okay, everybody, hold on. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back here. Okay, I messed up. I need to add you to that other thing because we had no audio. I screwed up. Okay, so anyway, we'll just go back to this scene. My bad. I didn't think of that. Oh, man, that whole time we had no... You know, when I was on the browser, I didn't create, like, an instance of this NDI source in that browser, so there was no audio over there. I can go back.
Hey, man, you're doing it live.
Yeah, no. I made a mistake here. My bad. I made a mistake. Okay, so
it
anyway,
happens. We're good.
So wait, what were we were talking about? Invisible Hours. So that is the daily deal for today. It is $20. The normal price is $30. 33% off for the Invisible Hours. And I could probably go ahead and grab. Let me see if I can find the trailer for Invisible Hours, since we're talking about it. But yeah. What do you think about, like, is it a movie, is it a game, Invisible Hours?
I think you're probably right. It's an experience. It's not a game, essentially. There's no winning it, except finding out, how the story resolves.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
that's pretty darn cool. It's a neat experience, and, probably worth the 20 bones just to check out.
Okay, can people hear Chris now is the question I want to know. We'll see if anybody answers that in chat, if people can hear Chris. Hello.
Test.
Yeah, I'm assuming we got you back because we're in the right window here. So where are people getting this Cosmos? Great Tantrum says, we need a link about Cosmos. I'm not finding anything about release date. Yeah, is this Cosmos thing legit? Because, like, if this is legit, this would be major news, and we'd love to talk about it. But I don't know if that's legit. So we'll just ignore it for now. But basically, what were we talking about before? So we were talking about, I know we talked about PSVR for a second there. So you've got PlayStation VR, you've got an Oculus Rift, you've got an Oculus Go, you've got this Daydream thing as well. Anything else you got? Any other headsets? We'll get into the accessories, but any other headsets?
Well, I have the Odyssey, Samsung Odyssey, and I have the Lenovo Explorer, which somebody in chat.
Man. Why do you need to have 20 headsets?
Well, when I was packing my bags, I actually have a backpack that I can fit everything into, but I couldn't fit the Odyssey because it's that big bulbous thing. But this thing went on sale for $100, and as a backup headset for $100 that works with my Windows Mixed Reality controllers from the Odyssey, it made sense to buy. So I own this as my travel VR.
and for the RoboCop look as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has that RoboCop appeal. Yeah, let me go. I'm going to go ahead and switch off the Boneworks trailer. I'm going to go back to your little montage of pictures that we have here, where your various VR pictures, if you wanted to comment about it. So right now, I mean, you're not going to see it right now, but I'm looking at a picture where it's like some kind of green screen studio. And then I'm looking at
that's the upload training center. Yeah.
Okay. So what are you? Do you work for Upload, or you're related to them in some way or anything, or you just happen to visit the place?
That was in Santa Monica, and they were doing classes there. You could go and learn how to code for these headsets. So I went to a free class where they were talking about it. I didn't end up doing the training with them. Something interfered with the timing, and I ended up taking classes with Circuit Stream instead. But yeah, it was a cool facility. Unfortunately, I hear they went under, and I don't know if they're associated with Upload via Upload.com.
Yeah.
Like the site, but like it was, they had training centers in San Francisco and
wasn't it like a co-working, shared working thing too as well, like for VR companies?
And it was really cool facility. I was like, wow, all this is right here, awesome, I should take advantage of it.
Yeah. Okay. So you use that backpack thing mostly. Do you have a desktop as well that you use like in a room or anything? Okay.
Yeah, I have a back house that I have all my board games and my VR setup in, and my 1080 Ti machine is back there.
What kind of graphics card is in the backpack thing?
A 1060.
1060. Okay. So what about the Wooher, or how do you pronounce that?
The Wooger.
Wooger? Okay, Wooger.
Yeah, the Wooger vest.
Yeah.
They also make the Wooger strap. I purchased the strap first and use it for the Go, and it basically is like a subwoofer. It gives you a little bass beat for anything that you're playing through it. Yeah, that was a Kickstarter that promised the ability to feel what it's like to be in the rainstorm. So I picked that up, mainly because I was doing some coding stuff, and I figured I could play around with that. That's another reason I'm grabbing a lot of these immersive toys, I call them, because I might not use them all the time, but like if I'm going to poke around and trying to code something up, I'll be able to make full use of every aspect of it. I also intend to, I've got on order some cyber shoes. I'm waiting to get those. And I've got that force tube thing on order, but we'll see whether or not that actually funds. I guess they haven't reached their goal yet.
Hey, so one of the pictures that that you have here, you are with, what's her name? Anna from Pixel Ripped Incorporated? You know, the developer? Is it Anna Ribeiro? I'm not positive of her last name. I'm trying to look it up right now. But
yeah, I ran into her at the OC5 in San Jose, where you're at. You should have been there.
I should have been there. That was a major mistake. How did you end up at OC5?
I just bought a ticket and went. I was
you can buy a ticket? Like any rando person can just buy a ticket?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's an open show.
How much bank did that baby cost?
I think it was $300.
But you did get to try the Quest at least.
Yep, I got to try the Quest. I got to, go to the keynotes. I got to observe Carmack himself. That guy is a machine. He did his keynote address or his tech talk. And then he's like, I'll be out in the hallway. And he was there all day, just addressing everybody's question. There was just a scrum around him. And someone must have been like feeding him water to keep him hydrated, because he talked the entire time like a machine.
Wow. Well, he loves to do that. Like, he doesn't need prodding. Like, he can go. I mean, remember the different press conferences he's done over the years?
Well, he was answering people's questions.
Yeah.
Like, if you had a dev question, you were working on something, and you wanted to get advice direct from, the man himself, he was there to answer anyone's question. And he stayed until they closed the doors, until they started the party.
Awesome. On your backpack PC thing, right, that you're using there, so you can use the Woozer thing and the backpack PC at the same time?
Yeah, the Woozer thing actually had the reason I decided, okay, I want this vest, is because they had a bracket that would allow me to connect my backpack to it. It was designed for that backpack.
Oh, okay. So did it run off the backpack's battery?
No, it has its own battery. You have to charge the vest, and you have to charge, there are two big removable batteries on the back of the backpack PC, and I've got some spares, so you can actually hot swap it.
Yeah, so, that is awesome. Like, that is awesome. So have you tried any, are there any, giant room scale things that you can do with that backpack from a stand? Like, have you experimented with anything like that? Have you at least played Unseen Diplomacy? Or maybe not, maybe not.
I don't think I have played Unseen Diplomacy. Is that a big room scale experience?
Yeah, it requires a pretty huge space, and you have to, you're crawling around in the ground and everything. And
nice.
It's one, I'm trying to... Unfortunately, there haven't been very many games that have been made to take advantage of a really giant space. You know what? I was listening to some, I can't remember if it may have been a Projections episode. It was about Arizona Sunshine, the arcade experience. Did you hear about that thing?
Yeah, I did.
And
on your show, I think.
Okay, well, the Arizona Sunshine arcade thing, I was listening to it recently on, maybe it was Projections or something else. They were interviewing the guy at Vertigo Games and talking to him about the arcade version and all of that. And one of the things that he was talking about is it's not meant for home use because you need at least 20 feet by 20 feet. But can we somehow get that version so that those of us that could experiment with that? And you with your backpack, have you gone to just freaking a huge parking lot or something at nighttime? Could you use it out in the wide open? What have you tried to do with that? Anything crazy?
I've tried working on using it on my porch, and it didn't work in direct sunlight.
Yeah.
So that was disappointing.
Have you tried it at nighttime at all?
Excuse me?
At nighttime at all?
It doesn't work in the dark.
Yeah. How much light do you need?
Probably... it'll work in a relatively low light situation. If you can see around with your eyes, you can see around with this.
Yeah.
Basically, it has a flashlight mode, so you can turn that on and see the real world. And as long as it can discern things, then you're good.
Okay, but let me ask you this question. So, if you're in a Walmart, you were in a Walmart parking lot, right? A well-lit Walmart parking lot, but it's nighttime, it's dark. Would it work in a condition like that, or probably not?
I don't know, but you know what? I'm going to try it, Anthony, now that you've brought this up. I have a mall parking lot down the street. I can give it a try tonight and give you an update.
Well, you don't need to do all that, but I'm kind of thinking because, Oculus Quest, right? Where are we going to be able to use our Oculus? Because, people are talking about, I heard people talking about they want to use it in a park and stuff, and I'm I don't know, in the daytime, I don't think it's going to work, but I don't know. I guess we're going to answer all these questions eventually, right? So... Yeah.
I've tried it on daylight, and no bueno.
Yeah, no bueno.
Basically, the tracking breaks down.
No bueno. But that is Windows Mixed Reality 1.0. What
Correct.
About HP Reverb, brah? No, it's Windows Mixed Reality 1.0 as well. But what do you think about? Are you tempted because we've got the Valve Index, right? But we also have HP Reverb supposedly later this month. Do you ever think about maybe selling some of your existing VR headsets to help finance a new VR headset, or do you have to keep all your babies and hold on to them to the very end?
No, I've sold several actually. I've had an HP and I sold that to another friend. I sold my Rift just recently. And
Blasphemy!
I
Blasphemy! You sold your Rift, huh? What about, like, do you have a lot of games that you have in the Rift library, or you're planning on getting like a replacement or something? What's your thoughts?
Well, since I have the backpack PC and since Oculus is attempting to keep the low end a viable standard, that makes the Vive, the Rift S, the perfect solution for my backpack.
It is a freaking awesome solution for your backpack, to be honest, because I'll tell you what, those 5 cameras, they do a damn good job. The tracking is on point, and then also the controllers. Like right now, as of this moment in time, Oculus has the best controllers in the industry, period. Like it's not open for discussion. Now, when Knuckles are available, we can discuss that, but they're not available right now. And so, yeah, the Rift S would probably be an awesome combination for your backpack there.
But there's one thing that I need them to do, and that's allow for the audio coming through this strap to work when you have something plugged in to the audio jack, because I want my my backpack, which has the haptic vest. I want that to be working, but I also want the friction-free audio of the headband. And currently, when you plug anything into that slot, it shuts off the audio that comes through the slot through the headband.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it's going to happen still.
Well, we just need a switch that allows for both.
Yeah, you know what you need is you need somebody that is internally on the Oculus team to have your exact same problem and then actually do it for themselves. Because
anybody who has a Wooger vest or the Wooger strap has this problem. So
there's millions of them, right? There's millions of them around the world.
I know I'm an edge case.
That's the problem. Unfortunately that's your problem there. So you're probably going to have to go to headphones. Okay, so let's see, where else were we going here? So my question basically is, what about the HP reverb? Any thoughts of that? Like, does that change your thoughts any? Because I know you're thinking Rift S, so you're all about the Rift S. What about the resolution,
I've got an Oculus. I have a Samsung Odyssey for my high-res fix, and that's good enough.
Okay.
It's also 1.0, but it's not 2160 by 2160, but it does a pretty good job.
Yeah. What about the idea of maybe dumping your Odyssey and dumping your Daydream, taking the money that goes to that and maybe throwing that at a HP reverb? So you're not tempted by. So the idea of like 2160 each eye, this incredible huge resolution bump, not as critically important to you as you want to have that wireless thing, and you want to be able to go anywhere. You want to be able to go to like somebody's house and just instantly be able to play high-end VR with no problems.
Yep. And the resolution bump is nice, but like it's still the 1.0 version of Windows mixed reality tracking. So
and the controllers are still kind of crappy too. The controllers.
That I can wait on.
Yeah. What did you think? Because I'm seeing a picture of you here where you do have is it the HP or the Lenovo that you have in these pictures?
It's probably the Lenovo.
Yeah.
Because that was what I tested out the Wooger vest with. Because, see, another problem, built-in audio doesn't work with the Wooger vest.
Yeah.
And that's what the Samsung had. I was like, wait, how do I get the sound to the vest if I'm hearing it on the headphones?
Yeah, I don't think I think the Quest you're going to be boned with that as well, but it's an edge case. It really is. So you're planning on getting a Rift S. You're also planning on getting a Quest. Are you going to buy both of them right away, or does one of them hold priority over the other one?
Quest first, and the Rift I'll wait for the sale. I'll wait for Black Friday.
But what if there is no discount? Because, the one thing that Nate Mitchell or one of the guys at Oculus was saying that they don't expect that like it's going to stay $399 for a long time. What do you think about that?
I'd be shocked if that's the truth, but if it is, that's fine. I can, what I have plenty, as you see. I don't need the S, but it'd be a nice upgrade for what I've got. And I do like the idea of being able to play some of those Oculus games natively with the native controller. But then, maybe I'm going to sell all of it and just buy a Valve solution. Who knows?
Yeah. So there's a lot up in the air, right? It's a weird time. But the Quest is like a done deal. You're getting that. Like, even if you get the Valve Index, are you still going to have a Quest? Like, Quest is part of the plan, right?
Quest is totally part of the plan. It's just a done deal. I mean, I love my Go, but the Go, you can just see that it's at the very edge of being able to work. Like, Plex runs at that 72 hertz, but like it runs hot, the battery burns through, you could just barely get a movie in there. And I'm hoping that the Quest is going to give us a little more battery life and a lot better cooling solution. And
it sounds like a lot.
72 hertz perfectly.
It sounds like a lot more battery life, according to the Voodoo DE guy, the German Voodoo DE guy, because he was talking about, I guess he was at PAX East, right? And the YouTubers that were all like in this deal, they got like hours and hours with the Rift S and the Quest. Like they had.
But he also admitted to not playing it straight through. Like he put it up on the shelf and would do stuff on his PC. So like there was some idle time there.
True. But based on what he was saying, to me it sounds like you're going to get 2.5, which I think that's mission critical. I think you got to get 2.5. Anything above that is gravy. If you get 2.5, like actual gameplay time or watching a movie time type of thing, I think you need 2.5.
Yeah, without a doubt, because like there's always like connectivity time. Like when I use it for Plex, some of that time is spent just turning the thing on, meeting up with whoever it is you're meeting up with, both of you getting into the app, and then you start the app. So like that 30 minutes is key. If you're trying to watch a 2-hour movie.
What do you think about the Oculus Quest? There's a rumor right now that I guess on like the Quest countdown thing or whatever, one of the hands is pointing to a 4 and the other hand is pointing to 12. So like April 12th, and then the other thing is April 12th is this Star Wars thing, and Vader Immortal, that's when we're going to get the first like legit look at what Vader Immortal is like. Any chance the Quest releases right around then? Or do you think we're waiting for F8 on the Quest?
I'm pretty positive it's an F8 deal, and anything else is just wishful thinking. Vader Immortal, I fully expect to be the home edition of what the Void gives you. Without all the haptics and the heat and the wind that experience adds to it. But it's about as close to what you get at the Void that you can get at home. That's my guess at what Vader Immortal is going to boil down to.
Yeah, I believe Ninja Theory and ILM X Lab are both working on Vader Immortal, and so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works out. Oh, you know what? I think I might have lost you. Let's see here. I think we lost Chris. Okay, Chris, I think we lost you. Just go ahead and try to call back and see if that'll work. What I'll do is I'm going to temporarily switch to my single scene right here, standard scene, until we get Chris back on the line. Yeah, we'll see if he can call back. Okay, so what we can do here while we're waiting to see if we can get Chris back is we can go back to this, and we can talk a little bit about what's going on in the VR gaming industry real quick here. So, oh wait, poor network connection suddenly. Okay, yeah, that was Chris. Yeah, it could be on my end too. It might even be on my end. It's possible. All right, I just wanted to see if there's anything brand new going on over here at Upload VR. And nope, it appears that those stories were the last stories we've seen on Upload VR. Let me go ahead. Okay, wait, here's Chris back. Okay, got you back. Okay, so hold on a second, Chris. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add an NDI source onto into this window here. There we go. Okay, but I got to make it smaller. And we'll go like this, and I'll just throw you down here temporarily. Okay, let's see, NDI source, and I'll go like that. Okay, so what is up, Chris? Back in the building? Say something. You know what? Your video's not moving right now. Let me see. Let me go back to... No, go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, don't worry about it. Let me switch back here. Oh, okay. I know why. I know why. I got it. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. I think we got your audio, but I don't think we got your video. I mean, like, your video is, like, frozen. Yeah, no, that's this other camera that I use, because I basically hook up a dummy camera to Skype, because the main camera that I'm using, I got to keep it for OBS. So anyway, I think we have your voice, unfortunately, but not. Yeah, it's the same source, Steve Bishop. Yeah, it is the same source. It's just like on NBI. I'm using NDI source 2. This is like the standard scene that I'm using here, but I don't know. Maybe, let me see. Let me try to refresh maybe. Yeah, I can see your video like in my Skype window. I see your video, but like in the actual, it's a still image right now. And I mean, I could remove it and try to re-add it. Maybe that would work. No Chris audio. No Chris audio, huh? Okay, I'm going to try removing it and then adding it again. So let's try that. So I'm going to go ahead and remove. I'm going to remove NDI source, and then we're going to try to add NDI source. Okay, add NDI source. And I'm going to add NDI source 3, a brand new one. And, It's not showing your thing. Okay. Yeah. Okay, but to go with audio, I have to switch to my desktop audio, so we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Go ahead and talk for a sec, Chris.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. This is Chris. Hello.
Oh, you know what? I got to delete the one that I just made. I think that's the problem. Okay, so hold on. Let's see, where were we? This one, yeah, this one. So
we're seeing how the sausage is made.
Yeah, no, I got your voice now. I got your voice on just my desktop audio, but now I gotta.
Yeah, I think I can hear your desktop's fan.
No, I think that's in your house over there.
Really?
Yeah, or maybe the laptop fan or something, or maybe the laptop. I don't know.
I'm plugged into a headset. I'm not that close to a fan. I can only hear it when I stop talking.
Okay, properties. Yeah, no, it's still not giving me no option for an NDI source. I'm gonna go ahead and remove NDI source, and then I'm gonna try to add NDI source. This will be the last time I try this, and if it doesn't work,
it's all good, sir.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, then we'll just go audio only. Yeah, see, it like when I try to click the drop box for the source name where it would say like Chris Richardson and it would say Skype something, it's not no bueno. No bueno. Okay, well, we'll forget about that. We will forget about that. We do have audio, so at least we got audio. That's good. So where were we? What were we talking? Oh, we were talking about Quest, right?
Yep. I think so.
Okay, so in regards, so now I can move my camera back. It's showing my. Okay, here we go. Okay, so in regards to Quest, you're buying that regardless. Oh yeah, we were talking about could it possibly release on April 12th? I don't think so. I don't think it's releasing on April 12th, but I do think we're going to see more of Vader Immortal on April 12th, and I think that's going to be awesome. But yeah, I'm looking for... Oh, what did you try when you were at OC5? I know you tried Face Your Fears 2. Did you get to try any other Quest games?
Yeah, Face Your Fears 2 with spiders, my friend. I have the same phobia. It's horrible. Yeah. I tried Super Hot. And let me tell you, Super Hot, I think, is better on the Quest than it is on the desktop. And here's why. I don't know if they've changed the layout, but you have more room to move in the Quest version of Super Hot. You can move to them instead of waiting for them to come to you.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty darn cool.
So, and it felt pretty good, like when you were playing it. Have you ever played Super Hot on any of the other platforms?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I
and
have.
It felt pretty much like the same thing.
It, there was some slight tweaks to the graphics, but those graphics are pretty sparse to begin with. So yeah, it was almost a 1-to-1. The room looks a little different. You know that room you started out in?
Yeah.
It looks a little different. And I had a funny problem with the Quest when I first tried it because they had set the floor height wrong. And you know how you're supposed to reach up and grab the virtual reality helmet and pull it down on your head? I couldn't reach it. So I'm like jumping up and down trying to grab the thing. And they eventually moved me to another room. So there was definitely still some work going on with the both the units and the software at OC5.
Did you get to try the Sports Scramble game at all? The tennis one?
No, I didn't. The line was too damn long. So I never got an opportunity to give that one a shot. It's line quest when you go to these things, man. It's like, which line do you want to wait in?
Absolutely. And you know what's encouraging, though, is the fact that you're talking about Super Hot playing pretty good way back then. They've had a lot of months now, and so these things might be a lot more polished. The other thing about Quest, one of the things we've heard about it is, I don't know if they've said 50-plus titles or 50-plus games at launch. And I'd have to go back and see an interview of Brent, what's his name, Nate Mitchell, and I'm not sure if it's titles or it's games. But either way, god damn, there's going to be an incredible explosion of software right at the very beginning. What is your most highly anticipated Quest game? Is it Vader? Is it Beat Saber? Super Hot? I mean, you probably played those games already. Journey of the Gods or something else.
Probably Journey of the Gods, because that's that adventure tick that I really dug. And I loved Zelda Breath of the Wild. And being able to do something like that, but actually being there, that sounds like a winner to me.
Yeah, especially like a straight-up adventure, that you can get lost in with a story and music and sound effects and everything. I've got the trailer running now, and it does look kind of like, it's kind of cel-shaded, almost like, remember Zelda or whatever, the old Zelda, where everybody was in an uproar at first about the Wind Waker, right? And it kind of has that Wind Waker visual style. People actually got to play this, man. And I screwed up so bad when I went to GDC. I went on Tuesday and Wednesday. Terrible tactical error. I should have been there Wednesday, Thursday. I would have been able to see way more stuff. And I probably would have got hands-on demo of Journey of the Gods, maybe hands-on demo of Shadow Point. Didn't get to touch either of them, but you know what? It's going to be exciting when the game is available. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I how could you have known? It's always a gamble with these things, but you should definitely be reaching out to the Oculus folks, because I think you do a lot for them, as much as some of these other YouTubers, and you've gotten me to buy a bunch of their stuff, so
Yeah, I
let them
wonder,
know.
maybe do I cuss too much? Do I go on rampages too often? That's probably part of it.
I
But
wouldn't worry about that, sir.
yeah, no, I'm not worried about it. But what was I going to say? So taking away Journey of the Gods, like are there a couple others like Vader? I mean, what are the other ones you're looking for? Or what about something like Rec Room or something? Seeing how that will work on, or VR chat even. Is it going to be free? Like, isn't VR chat free? And Rec Room is free. You got to put your email in and all that, right?
Well, Rec Room is already talking about a pace format. Like they sent out a notice to all the Rec Room players saying you'll have this opportunity to buy coins and do something in game that costs money.
Yeah.
So they're looking to monetize that sucker. But yeah, Rec Room is amazing and has a whole bunch of game experiences in it. And honestly, I haven't played as much of it as I would if I had less friction. So I'm fully expecting that to be a big one for the Quest.
Okay. Yeah. And for me personally, I'd probably say, man, I don't know. Do I want Journey of the Gods more, or do I want Star Wars more? I guess, I'll say Vader Immortal is more exciting to me, but I think Journey of the Gods will probably be the better overall VR experience. I would love, I'd love Vader Immortal to like be the home run that you never expected, and maybe it's a very short experience, but it's just freaking awesome. I would love that. But I kind of believe that Journey of the Gods is probably going to be the better game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to both of those. Sports Scramble, I actually got to try a lot of that when I was at GDC. And you know what? That game, not bad at all. And it's going to have a baseball mode and a bowling mode. And it's very whimsical, and it's bright, and it's colorful, and it's got I mean, it's not that Nintendo magic, only Nintendo can do the Nintendo magic, but it's got that style to it that is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely like, what are going to be the pack-in games? That sounds like a pack-in for sure.
Yeah, it's probably the pack-in.
Yeah, and Summer of Rift was awesome because it gave you like 6 games when you bought the thing. Certainly a better deal than those poor bleeding edge people who bought the first Oculus and had to buy everything else a la carte, including the touch controllers.
Yeah, but you know what? I think, didn't people get a lot of free games with the very first Oculus as well? I don't know.
I wasn't in. So
well, they got Lucky's Tale, obviously. Everybody's got Lucky's Tale. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen, like, of all the Quest games we've seen, you would think Lucky's Tale could port over to this. Of course, they would have to get they probably would have to pay Playful to do it. But I don't know, Oculus might just, no, I don't think they own Lucky's Tale. They probably don't. Because Lucky's Tale was on Xbox One, Super Lucky's Tale, as a flat game. So Oculus does not own Lucky's Tale. Because I was thinking Oculus could probably just get some other developer, like even if Playful didn't want to do it, Oculus could probably get another developer that would make a port of Lucky's Tale. But we haven't heard anything about that. The other game I'm kind of surprised we haven't heard anything about is Blaze Rush. Have you ever tried Blaze Rush on the Oculus?
That's the racing game with the third-person perspective.
Yeah.
I've got it on both the Go and the Rift.
Oh, man, I love that game, and I think that would work beautifully on the Oculus Quest. Like, it would look even better than the Go version, The Go version's pretty good. But we haven't heard anything about that. But there's a ton of games we have heard of, and there's a lot of them are going to be games we've already seen, but like Robo Recall, you're going to want to see what that looks like on the Quest, right? That's going to be interesting just to see how it's running. And then how many like free games do you already have locked in before you even buy your Quest based on the cross-buy thing? You probably got Robo Recall coming to you, and probably a handful of others as well. I've
got hopefully The Climb, because I've got that on the Rift.
We
Yeah.
haven't seen any video or screenshots of the climb as far as I know, which maybe that's going to come a little bit later. But yeah, do you think, I mean, the release date of Oculus Quest, we're kind of thinking F8, but at some point, aren't we going to get like, you go to the Oculus store, the website, right? And you're going to see like Quest experiences, and you're going to see all these different things start to show up in there. And also like individual trailers for some of these individual games, like an actual sports scramble trailer where we see the bowling, we see the baseball, an actual Robo Recall trailer. And I mean that the Vader Immortal trailer, I got to imagine April 12th is the Vader Immortal trailer. But when do you think we're going to see some of this other stuff?
I really am at a loss for what they're doing as far as marketing is concerned. I thought your idea for the release of the S on
oh yeah,
Nostradamus
was off. Yeah,
I thought that was perfect. I thought that was a guarantee. In fact, that's one of the reasons I was like, hurry up and sell this damn Rift because I needed to get the S.
Yeah,
but. No, you know, it is what it is, and I've learned to just chill out, relax. It'll come when it comes.
Girillo in chat says release date. He's talking about the Quest. Release dates on, I think, well, actually might be talking about both of them, which is my new Nostradamus prediction. Release dates on April 30th, one day before Gabe backhands them on May 1st again. Like, is that bad timing or what?
Well, you know, it depends on what Gabe has. We still don't know Jack. So it's like price. That's the thing right now, right?
Yeah,
if it's out of our reach, who cares? If it's like a real competitor, oh knows. So
what if the
all
price
he's done is put uncertainty in the mix?
What if the price was $699 for a combined bundle, but you know you got the Rift S at $399? You know, so you got $700 and $400. What if it was a $300 upcharge? Would it still seriously damage the sales of the Oculus Rift S?
I don't know. It just depends on what you're getting for that, you know, that upcharge. We don't know enough about whatever it is the index is to really make a true call.
Yeah, you know, all the rumors that you've seen and all the speculation on like all the stats and everything, but what about that thing, you know, because they definitely have a shield there. We know that they have some kind of shield, some kind of plastic thing, and they made it super obvious that you could see that there was some kind of opening or something, like they deliberately did that. So we know that that slot does something. What would be your wild guess? Or what do you think those cameras are for? Do you think there could be any inside-out tracking? Do you think wireless is out of the question, or do you think it's in the question? I mean, so many little weird possibilities, right?
I think it might be something that enhances the AR capabilities of the device. I think those two cameras are for pass-through. It's possible that you could do something more than just pass-through if you had something plugged in.
Yeah, isn't it I think it's kind of amazing to me, honestly, that no one has like done anything majorly AR with a VR headset, when I think VR headsets could do some incredible AR stuff right now, like at a much cheaper price. Obviously with a big giant bulky thing on your head and you're not seeing the real world. I mean, you're not like actually looking out and seeing the real world. It's going to be on a screen. But why haven't we seen anybody take advantage of this? We actually saw like HTC when they first came out with the Vive Pro, or was it the Vive Pro? We saw a demo where they were showing like an AR thing, and they had like these hammers and they were like smashing things, and they were like in an underground parking lot or something. And you could see like real life. And they showed this demo, but ever since then we haven't seen squat.
I don't think I've seen this demo. What was that for?
Oh man, I don't know if I could find it. It was like a quick little. It was an AR demo. Let me see. It was like a Vive AR demo. I'll just I'm doing a search in YouTube here. But no, they had a demo for this. They showed off. I mean, we've never seen anything from it. Nothing ever came out of it. Hold on a second.
Did you ever follow Jerry Ellsworth and her company Tilt 5? Like, she was working for Valve on, like, some AR stuff. And when she left the company, she asked Gabe for the stuff that they were working on, and Gabe gave it to her, and they started a new company. And they kickstarted it. And I was actually interested in Kickstarter because they had this material that would allow you to...
well, that was Cast AR, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yes. Cast AR? But
originally
I think,
it was Cast AR. Yeah.
But Cast AR kind of died, right? And it's something else now. But no,
it's Tilt. Yeah, it's Tilt 5.
Okay.
It's the new company. Yeah, and they're talking about making an announcement soon. Like, that was a weird mixture that I was really tempted, because I like the idea. I'm a gamer. I'm a board gamer, and I like the idea of mixing virtual reality or augmented reality with my board gaming experience. And like, Sony did something like this called the Eye of Judgment. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I remember that.
Where you could take playing cards, and like the creature that was on the card would come to life, and you could move it under your hand and you could see it on the screen. It's like, Sony, bring that back. Put that on your PlayStation VR, because I love that game. But I'm once again in the minority.
Yeah, no, I remember that. It was one of those products that kind of just like fizzled out. Like remember they had the whole Wonder Book thing.
Oh yeah, that debacle. Holy cow, that demo was the worst.
Remember that shit?
Nobody remembers Wonder Book, sir.
Hey, you know, one of the pictures that you have is freaking, what was the very On Live? You owned On Live?
I sure did.
Wow. So what happened to that company? They basically died, or what?
Oh yeah, they went under. They got sold to Sony. Was it Sony? I think Sony bought them and killed them, because Sony. There was a competitor called Gaikai at the time.
Yeah. And Sony bought Gaikai. Sony bought
Gaikai and turned it into PlayStation Now. But I think they ended up buying On Live as well and just killed it.
Okay, so Chris, check it out. On the screen, you're going to see this like whack-a-mole thing. This is on the HTC Vive Pro. It's an AR. See, that's just a regular HTC Vive Pro. Mm-hmm. And okay, she's in like an all-white room, and you see the cords and stuff. You see her cords, and she's whacking whack-a-moles. So what I'm saying is this video is from a long time ago. Let me see if I can see when this video was. But it's like, whatever happened to this? Like, no one's ever tried. This was April 16th, 2018 is when this video came out. It's from Project Ghost Studios. It's a Vive Pro AR demonstration. And
so it was a year ago.
Yeah, and we haven't seen nothing. You know, what happened? Why don't we have AR on some of these VR headsets?
Yeah, that was always the secret sauce to what they were doing with those two cameras on the Pro or the Pro Eye, and like they've just not commented on it. And you notice like the same has been said of hand tracking with the Rift. I mean, not the Rift. Hand tracking with the Quest. They asked them, hey, is there a possibility for some AR capabilities with these cameras? And they shy away from that question as fast as they possibly can. It's like, oh, no. There's a possibility, but we're not talking about that.
Because you know what it is? It's the process, that Snapdragon 835, like if they were to enable hand tracking as well, the game is going to be like Pong hand tracking. You know what I mean? So that's their problem, yeah.
Right.
See, what... Did you hear my rant the other day? I had a rant the other day about the Oculus Quest, and I was probably way too harsh. I mean, dropping F-bombs and everything. But I was talking about the casting ability of the Oculus Quest, and I was like, if it isn't freaking simple as can be, like it's got to be crazy simple. You got to be able to have it on a phone or a tablet. And I don't care if you have to go through Facebook or whatever, and you need like some Facebook app that then allows you to see it on your phone or a tablet. but it's got to be something like that so that it's easy. Because think of the parties, like you go places, you want to show your VR stuff, you want to show other people, like you're kind of an evangelist. That's why you did this backpack PC thing and everything, because you want to be able to take it on the go, you want to be able to show people, and I'm sure you want to do that with the Quest, and it's going to make it so much easier for you. But if people can't see what's on some kind of screen, isn't that kind of a problem?
I think Mike confirmed that it does work on a phone just like the Go does. And were you ever able to fix your Go? Because I had the same problem you had where I couldn't get casting to work. And I had to just reset the headset and reinstall applications. And once I did that, it worked like a charm.
Huh. Okay, but even when it works, though, isn't it kind of like half-assed? Like there's no audio, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's any audio on the Go.
Isn't it like really choppy and stuff? Like I don't know. I mean, I guess
it looks pretty good. It works smooth enough. I watched my sister play and beat Thumper on the Go, and I was watching it on my phone. So
okay, well, if they make it halfway decent, you know, and there could be AR, like the Quest might be able to do a little bit more AR stuff. That might be easier for it than say hand tracking. You know what I mean? Right. Because with those pass-through cameras there.
And you know how people complain that you can hear what's going on through the strap audio? Well, if you can hear it, then there's no problem if they're casting it, right? Even if they cast it silent.
I don't know if you can hear it that loud. I mean, it'd have to be a real quiet room, and you'd have to have it on max volume, which I did that. I got lucky. The one lucky thing that did happen to me at GDC is I had this appointment with Oculus that turned out to be a room that was on the 3rd floor of GDC, like in some back hallway, no noise anywhere, inside this big ass room, and it was just me and these 2 girls that worked for Oculus that were doing the demo, and no one else. It was quiet as can be, and I was able to play Sport Scramble, and I was able to turn the volume max. You know, I maxed the volume out so I could really hear it, because like when you were in those glass booths, you couldn't hear squat. You know, you couldn't on the Rift S or the Quest, you couldn't hear anything. There was too much surrounding noise. But being in that little private room, I got a great demo. The sound is actually good. I've heard a lot of people kind of shit all over like the Rift S built-in sound and the Quest built-in sound. I thought it was actually decent, but you got to be in a quiet room, and you got to kind of max your volume out. So that's the downside there.
Well, the next time you go to a show as press and you need a camera crew, I'm your guy. I will take that trip.
Really? Because I do need a camera crew. That would have been awesome if I had an actual camera crew.
I heard you say that they were expecting more than just you, and it's like, oh, it's just you? I guess I'll play against you.
Yeah,
it's like, I'll be your man.
Yeah, I should have had a damn cam. You know what? It could have been me and Sebastian, and we could have freaking take turns filming each other. Sebastian, you know what? Like when we did our little video there from GDC, like he has a nice tripod, and like he goes through this whole process. Like he will travel places and he will set up shop, you know, and he'll do a little video thing from it, which is a great idea. And I didn't have like a tripod or nothing. So the only thing I could do is hand somebody my phone and just say, "Hey, bro, could you do this?" And like,
well,
and then
I have some 360 cameras, so we can actually do some virtual reality camera work.
Yeah. Have you experimented with that? Have you tried to like, where do you put that video up on YouTube or something? Have you been able to see it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
You can see them on YouTube or Facebook.
So have you tried it on like the Go? Like watched it back on the Go?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. How did it look?
It looks great.
Which camera is it?
I have 3. I have.
Wow, dude, you just went straight up crazy VR, huh?
I have the KuCam, the Lenovo, and I have the first one I got at VRLA. It's I forget the name of it. But,
Okay,
yeah.
so here's my question for you, Chris. Look, you didn't just fall into the rabbit hole. You catapulted into the rabbit hole, and you got stuck way down at the very bottom, and you are just gone. And it's pretty much obvious, right? But here's my question for you. Why are you like a rare bird? What about all these other people that they're not impressed with VR, or they buy VR and then the thing has dust on it, or they just can't even be bothered and they're like, I'm not putting no dumb thing on my head. VR is dumb. I can't wait till it dies. Like, explain to me everybody else.
People are resistant to change, and they don't want there to be something that they have to invest in. I think that's really what's going on. They are, I mean, my take was I was kind of disillusioned with video gaming. I had stopped, like I kept my my PlayStation Pass and my Xbox Live account, and I was getting the free games, but I wasn't buying anything because I'd lost the love. It was like, this is all very samey, very similar. And then I started playing some VR games, and that love came flooding on back. Like, it just like renewed me like a newborn babe. So I don't know what's going on with others. They just don't want to try it, or they assume it's not for them. I think assumptions are what's really keeping it down. It can't really be that good.
I'm seeing if I can add just your little background images real quick. Hold on a second. I mean, we're almost done here. We've been going for a long time. You're probably ready to get the hell out of here, huh? It's been a while. It's
cool, man. It's been fun talking with you about this stuff.
Okay, let's see here.
I enjoy your show.
It's not switching. Okay, I was trying to see if because I have like these little pictures that I made for you that says Chris Richardson, you know, live on Skype, da-da-da, and I don't know where they are, so, oh well, tough titty. Let's see here. Okay, well, anyways, what are we doing? I messed up. This needs to go down. There we go. Okay. So what was I talking about last?
Let's see.
Oh,
why
people
into VR like I am?
Yeah. And so it's kind of the resistant to change. I mean, I can understand that for like anybody that's like 35 years or older, right? And they've been gamers for a long time, and gaming for them is sitting on a sofa, you know, controller in hand, and that's how they know gaming. And this idea of like standing up and wearing something and, you know, kind of getting hot and sweaty, possibly getting kind of dizzy, you know, all those kinds of things.
Yeah, I've never been afraid of looking silly, and I think a lot of people don't want to look silly.
Yeah, that's a serious problem. But it's funny because like sometimes you see these people playing PSVR, you know, and they have all these lights going on, and it's like in a dark environment, and it's like they're in Tron. It almost looks cool. Like I would think like if somebody walked by, they'd be like, that looks cool. And then sometimes like you know, if they have like a girl and she's playing VR in a glass booth and she's, you know, doing all kinds of stuff, that can look cool as well, right? People walk by and see it. But then some people think about VR and they think, no, I don't want to put this headset on. I'm going to look like a weirdo. Or what are people going to think? I'm wearing a VR headset. It's kind of crazy how we have to deal with that. That's a problem.
Well, I have a flat gaming friend who went to PAX Boston, and he took photos of the booths where people were playing VR, and he wrote on his Facebook page, "The human zoo continues." And I wrote back, they're locked up to keep you out, not to keep them in. Because they're experiencing something in those cubes that you can't possibly experience. And he was like, well, the lines are keeping me from experiencing it. So.
Oh, you know what, Chris? It's finally showing your pictures now. I guess it had to cycle through because it was doing the PayPal donation stuff. So I guess it had to cycle through all of those, and now it's doing your pictures. Okay, so I finally figured that out. Okay, see, yeah, this is our backup plan. Like if the video doesn't work, we had video today. It was working. I don't know how long we had it for, but it was working. It was actually working. It was beautiful. And
we broke through.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is as a backup, I can always do this like audio only thing. Because I want to try having more guests on the show, and I'd like to have video and all of that. I'd love to get like epics on the show, like Sebastian from MRTV on the show, Sweeviver, anybody out there that wants to come on the show, hit me up, info@vrgamerankings.com. Have you ever heard of a guy named Bobby Blackwolf? He does podcasts. It's called the Bobby Blackwolf Show. I actually want to see if I can get him on the show because I used to listen to his podcast way back in the days, like when there were hardly any video game podcasts. And where I used to work, I was in this cubicle doing like boring ass stuff, but I could listen to podcasts all day long and it would just make the day just fly by. And I would listen to all my favorite video game podcasts. And Bobby Blackwolf, the Bobby Blackwolf Show, was one of the podcasts I listened to, and he was always into VR. Like his show was 100% flat gaming, but he just happened to be interested in VR. And like anytime he would talk about VR, his audience like hated it and shit, but he would still talk about it anyway. And nice. I would love to interview him. That would be cool too. I need to try to get a hold of him. But yeah, we've been going for a very long time, and I do need to get some food to be absolutely sure. I'm starving. You're in LA. It's almost lunchtime, right? You're probably starving too. Did you ever think that this show would start at 11 and you'd be going to damn near 1?
Well, I've put in my smoker a bacon explosion, so I'm going to have some tasty eats when this is done.
Awesome. Yeah, so it's been smoking a little bit longer. Okay. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put my little outro thing. Well, actually, Chris, I'll go ahead and say goodbye to you now, but thanks so much, dude, for joining us today. Awesome. It was a great discussion.
A pleasure.
Yeah, well,
pleasure being your first video caller.
Yeah, kind of. I've had people on video before, like briefly. Like I had Noah, Magic Leap Noah. He was on with video at one. I had it working one time. Like I've had some video a little bit, but yeah, not too much. But we're gonna try to get it fixed. But thanks so much, Chris. Really loved having you, and definitely I'll be having you on again because the next time I have you on, we don't have to like do the whole back history thing. We could talk more recent news and stuff like that.
And we'll have some great things to talk about, I'm sure.
Probably, absolutely, no question about it. Okay, Chris, I'm going to go ahead and hang up on you, but thanks so much. It was wonderful talking to you.
See you, sir.
Okay, take it easy. Okay, so that was Chris. Thanks so much to Chris for being able to join us. Yeah, so somebody said technical issues 365. Welcome, everybody, to TI 365. Technical issues 365 days a year. Pretty much, yes, we do have technical issues 365 days a year, but you know what? It's still worth dealing with the technical issues. So yeah, that conversation was kind of all over the map, but I thought it was still interesting. We got some interesting perspectives on a lot of different stuff. And, definitely we're going to have Chris back on again. I want to have Jay Pace back on again with actual video. So he can talk about putting a chip inside his brain. Jay Pace was willing to go way the hell out there as far as that. So we'd love to have Jay Pace on and all kinds of other people. I'd love to have Epics on. I'd love to, Epics could just come on and kind of, if he's still playing VR and stuff, talk about, all the craziness that has gone in the VR world. So yeah, if anybody is looking to come back on, and what's her name? Short Power 24, as we get, like once we have the Quest launch date and we know all the games, like to talk to her as well, or maybe after she gets her Quest, that would be awesome. So it would be nice to have a lot more guests on. We got to definitely do that. But yeah, I got to go ahead and get out of here. I got to get some lunch, and I will see everybody tomorrow. Now, Monday, let's see, when are we going to start our show on Monday? I believe it is going to be 4 p.m. Pacific time on Monday. So right now I'm going to say 4 p.m. Pacific time on Monday, and I will see everybody then. But have a wonderful Sunday. Take it easy. And let's see, I got to get to my area where I can actually like turn off the stream so I don't leave it going for 2 hours. Man, this is a 2-hour stream, bro. This is a 2-hour stream. Wait, hold on. I'm going to wait. I got to wait another minute because we're about to hit the 2-hour mark. Holy moly, riccatoli. This is a lengthy show, folks. Yeah, this was definitely an extended show. Oh, yeah, Chris. Chris was an awesome guest as well. And once we get this video working for everybody and it consistently works, then it'll be that much more awesome. Like Gary, Steve, all kinds of people could come on as just a special guest and kind of just shoot the beat, you know, and talk about games you've recently been playing or past history, VR games, all that kind of thing, news and all that other stuff. All right, well, I got to bounce. I will see you guys tomorrow. We have hit the 2-hour mark officially. We are officially at 2 hours. That is incredible. All right, see everybody tomorrow on Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific. Take it easy and later.